Hey, hello. This is Brian Rowe with LSNTAP, and we're hosting a webinar today over ShareLaw and ShareLawVideo. We've got three experts here who are very familiar with the systems that are going to run you through kind of the basics. We're also going to have some time for open Q&A towards the end. We've got Kirstin Verrill, Vint Morris, and Liz Keith. And I'm going to turn it over at this point to Vint to give you guys, Vince, sorry, I've been working on a proposal for Google, dealing with a Vint also on that. Vince, for ShareLaw, to give you guys an introduction to the ShareLaw resources. Thank you all so much for coming out.
Thanks, Brian. Something just popped up on my screen, actually. It says I'm reconnecting. Can you see my screen?
I can see your screen and I can hear you.
ShareLaw, find and share legal aid resources.
I can.
Yep.
Oh, good.
Excellent.
It still says reconnecting, so I'll assume that we're actually sharing and connecting.
Is that
thanks
just
for
main
everybody.
screen?
Sorry?
It's just refreshing, Vince.
Yep.
Okay, good. All right. Well, thank you for joining us today and your interest in ShareLaw. We really hope that you'll participate in what we got going here. And what we're looking at is a national website for content developers who are our website, if you maintain and upkeep your website and develop content. And what we're doing, we've created a portal here to where you can share national content and also view just content that you think might be helpful, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Or it could be actually a wheel for like wills and trusts. So I'm just going to, hold on, people are knocking and I'm letting them in. You want me to go ahead and unlock the meeting, Brian?
Yes.
Okay, it looks like it may be unlocked now.
Yes, it's unlocked.
Okay, it's unlocked, good. All right. So I'm just going to, I think of this as kind of shopping, kind of window shopping, if anybody remembers that. And so I'm just going to, we see all the participating organizations right now, and as of this morning, we have 3 law help sites, and we're really excited about that. So I'm just going to click through one of them. We'll go to our latest, lawhelp.org. So maybe we're a content developer, and we're looking for something on court fees. And so we want to find some good language there, and maybe we can use that language, maybe we can use it as is, maybe we can replicate or modify or repurpose. So we see all these different shared fees here, fees, not fees, and you'll see the ShareLaw banner up here. And the way I envisioned it is I wanted to see how the content was presented. I just didn't want to get like an RSS feed with a bunch of text, but I think it's really important the way we present it, white space, images. So we actually see the website and how you went about setting it up, and we can go through. And so maybe a website doesn't have anything about court fees. So this would be a great starting place, and it might be replicable as it is, or you can just grab that content and then modify it as needed. So what we're doing here was just kind of a resource for content providers, and there's a lot of great resources out there. LSNTAP has wonderful training tools, and there's even things on plain language there. And then we have LHI, which we kind of modeled this off of too, where you can go and find and download templates and then repurpose or replicate those as well. So this was an idea for what I find myself doing most often is just content in whatever format it is. And of course we can go to a lot of these websites, but this is a place that's categorized with the NSMI module. So that's the standard type of way of going through things and how most sites are set up. So we can find that and we can look. So here, instead of searching just through a particular organization, which is great, you can go to Arkansas Legal Services and it's like, oh, I know Vince, that's going to be great content. You can go through it like that. Or you can also just go and shop by content type, as you see, and set up very much like our statewide websites. So you could drill down and you can see how many shares. And we only have about, I think, 280 shares as of now, but you can see where there is content. And there's something on mental health. It's probably about me right there, and you can look at it. And you can pull something up. So we'll drill down through migrants here, and looks like there's something on Medicaid, and we see that the Arkansas Legal Services Partnership did something. I hope it's good. Hope it's there. really should have checked my links. And we see that there's quite a bit of things shared here. So we can continue to drill down through that, and we should be seeing our website. Wouldn't that be funny if our website's down? No. Yeah, please go ahead.
So Vince, who's really the target audience here? Is this for administrators, advocates? Who's going to use this most?
In this phase, I think really what I'm looking for is all of those poor suckers like myself who is just in charge of creating and maintaining large amounts of content, self-help, as well as advocate content. And, I mean, we have thousands of nodes of content. We started from scratch. And there's still a lot of sites out there that are very content weak, or you have to go through, and I find often holes I've just missed, you know. And why start from that blank page when we have so many, you know, TIC-funded and just other great content out there to replicate. So it's a very limited audience to content providers. I think a lot of us wear different hats, though, so we do the tech and the content writing and all of that. So no, not so much for pure tech here, really for those looking for new or need to update or modify content. So it's a limited audience for sure.
So if I'm looking for content for my statewide website, this is definitely a starting point. And as an advocate, when would I use this?
Well, you know, that would be something that we would, I'm looking maybe in a later phase. Right now I'm wanting to populate content to replicate. And then if that works out and we see good participation, then I think we could open it up to advocates. And if you'll notice on the screen right now, this is another benefit of ShareLaw, is that you can go and look at shared advocate resources, whereas you'd be either requesting a password from another site administrator in a different program or state to get to that. But here, if they share it, then we have an authentication process to where we can go, and right now, as soon as this loads, we'd be looking at a password-protected area of my site, but it's one that I've shared and said it's okay for ShareLaw to look at. So ShareLaw itself is a password-protected member-only place, so it would be another program. So here I thought I would share this. So there is that possibility, and there's that functionality built in for advocates across this, you know, the nation to use this. But that would probably be a later phase. Right now, if we get enough advocate content in, and it seems like what a great national form bank that would be, we could move there.
Okay.
But as of now, it's all, like I said, the poor sucker's making content every day, and that's keeping it.
Excuse me, I have a question on the previous page that looked like, was that a list of the various potential topics that one could search through?
Yeah, let me get back to the library. So if you look up here on the menu.
How did you get to that, I guess is my question. I
didn't
see how you got to that page.
Okay, yeah, there's a couple of different ways we can go about it. And so this is kind of a drill down library menu that's probably pretty common in most statewide websites. And you can go that route. You can search, of course, for content here. And then on the home page, then you can see how many people are sharing what, and you could just drill down through organization. If you know a particular jurisdiction is similar to yours, you might want to, you know, look at that. But again, the content that we're asking people to share, both examples that might be very jurisdictional, but really pushing something that could be replicable very easy. So foreclosure law maybe, or anything public benefits like Social Security, veteran stuff, consumer law issues, federal based. I've also shared stuff, though, that I think is a good example of ways to, my connection is blinking on and off. I apologize for that. Don't know what I can do to fix that.
Maybe we can move the presenter over to Liz, who may also have access to ShareLaw, so that we can show it.
Yeah, let's do that. Yep. I will not exit this meeting. I will.
Let me see if I can move it over to Liz. Swap presenter.
Here it is. I'm going to pass presenter role. I think I got it.
Okay.
Yep, you got it.
Excellent.
Yay.
Yeah, that's definitely refreshing much faster.
Yeah.
Great.
Great.
So, and then the
Just
Well,
question
Liz,
was
I
was related
okay, go
to
ahead.
diving down here. I think it was clicking on the Arkansas Legal Aid Partnership, and yes, that I think. How did we get to that screen? Was that the question? And what does this screen really represent?
Well, I think I got the question, and there's about 3 different ways to search for content here. You can obviously see the search bar. You can go organizational. As you see, there's different organizations here. And Liz, will you like click on say sort by name?
Sure.
Oh,
I
I'm
think
sorry. You already. I was looking at mine. If you go back to the home.
Yep.
Yeah, go back to the home page if you would.
Okay.
And you can yeah, click on name.
Okay. I think I.
You can sort by different ways there. When we have a bunch more organizations participating, so you could, and we'll probably put a sort in there by law help sites as well. Now that we have some coming up, so you can sort that way and then drill down by organization. And if you click on that, you'll see every feed or every type of content and piece of content that an organization is sharing. But that could be overwhelming as we get more shares. So the second way is, as Liz just had up before that, is going through the library and just going down through the NSMI. Is that what y'all call it, NSMI?
National Subject Matter Index, yes.
All right.
And that is one of the, because that's really categorization of different types of legal problems and areas. That website is in the LSNTAP TIG grant for next year of moving that over to a Drupal platform and making that more accessible and more easy to update. So that's one of our projects coming up.
So that'd be great, because part of this project was updating that and using that module, and that was about 4 years ago. So that's great. Y'all are keeping that up. It's essential.
It needs to be redone. Yep.
Yeah. So substantive legal areas, basically, and you can drill down through that way. So by organization, by substantive legal topic, and then by just searching. So so yeah, we're hoping you'll become a member. Sign up. You'll get a password. Liz, can you show them where you can? Well, since we're logged in, but you can contact us and then request. But here, Liz is showing how to share a feed. And if you'll send what we need, well, Liz is going to go into the technical aspect of that, and then we'll set you up. It's a very quick process. We got Liz's, we got 2 feeds this morning and had them set up in about 10 minutes and had 20 more items of content. So if there's any questions for me, or we can wait till Liz shows you how to share a feed, or is there any questions about participating or sharing? It's a very hippie thing, guys. Just share and share, man.
Can anyone access to look without sharing?
No, you can go to the home page and you can hit contact, and you can see how many, you can see the organizations. You'll see the home page that you see now, but no, you can't drill down into the content since we have advocate and public content. So you do have to be a member. But
so you have to be a member, but you don't have to
join without sharing,
add
right?
anything.
Oh,
You just
I'm
have to
sorry.
register.
Yes, we have a lot.
There's no cost or anything, correct?
No cost.
Oh, no,
Okay.
no. And yes, I'm sorry, I misunderstood the question. We do have several members that just want to be a member and look at the content and not necessarily share a feed now, either because of technical reasons or maybe they don't have content. So, yeah, you don't have to share. We encourage it, though.
And then Mary asks, will download statistics be available? So what kind of analytics are in this, and who will be able to see those?
Well, right now we just have Google Analytics, and they're not, stellar what we're doing for the project. So I guess it'd just be me and Kim for the most part. This is funded by a TIG grant that we're closing up in January, so we'll report on those. But we're not tracking who downloads what. We're just tracking usage and visits and page views
So,
Vince, is there
so
a
page
download
views will be
feature, or do you
available.
just cut and paste the content?
That's a very good question, and we really struggled. We thought about having users be able to consume these feeds and go straight to your site, but right now we thought it's a very simple solution. We didn't go high-tech on that aspect. It's pretty cool and technical in how we integrate and pull in authenticated content, but this is just window shopping. So yeah, it's copy and paste, grab it, or if it's a PDF download or anything of that nature. So it's window shopping and grabbing and pasting. There's not really a download or upload feature.
So if you find something that's really useful that you've used, it would you might want to give the contact person or the admin for that website just a heads up in an email. You know, hey, I found a bunch of fact sheets that I'm using from your site. You know, that were really helpful, so they can include that in their grant reporting or let their content authors know.
Well, and if
that would be really
and this links to their site.
But
So if their site has any type of analytics on it that tracks that stuff, their site will do it. Because this is really kind of a gateway to get to those other sources. Right?
That is true.
Right.
It will. I mean, if your analytics is set up properly, then this would count it as a page view. Liz, could you click on dashboard real quick? And I think that'll be it for me. As a user, when you log in, you'll see you can bookmark a bunch of content. So if you don't want to necessarily do anything with it right now, then you could list all your bookmarks and prioritize them. And you can rearrange these or your dashboard in any way you like, create your own type of tags and bookmarks so you can come back and you don't necessarily have to do anything with it right now, but like, oh, next month when I have more time. You can also see the most recently viewed, what's new, which has been put up, and it looks like a bunch of stuff from Liz and Law Help Spanish there, which is great. So those are some more tools that you can use there as well.
So long term, what is the kind of community sustainability plan for this? How, where is this going to live? How's that going forward?
Well, for the past 4 years, we've sustained it. We've sustained every TIG project we've ever done, and this is number 1920. So this is just something we like enough that we're going to keep doing. Maintenance isn't really hard, and if everybody shares, it's just a matter of approving users and getting memberships out and making feeds, which is really limited. So we're going to sustain it. We pay for the hosting. We pay for, I think I paid the domain name out of my own. It's a good domain name. Although
it's a great domain name.
With Kirstin that is going to share the sister site for this, there might be some incorporation there as well. So I'm not sure of the status now, so I'll let Kirstin speak to that.
we have some, this is Kirstin, we have some TIG funding in our follow-up grant to our project to do some enhancements to ShareLaw and help sustain it.
Okay.
So we're still kind of hashing out how that's going to look because we're finishing up the old grants, but definitely things like user surveys and coming up with ways to track shares is something that we can fund through one of our TIG grants.
Yeah. And we're very happy to help promote it on a semi-annual, annual, whatever type of basis is useful to you guys.
Great.
Well, thank you, Brian. Well, that's my pitch. Well, I'll finish it up with saying, please become a member, and then maybe think about considering a feed where Liz is about to show you how to share content through a Law Help site.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Vince. So Vince walked through how, as a statewide website content coordinator, you would use ShareLaw to window shop and consume content for your statewide website. I'm going to talk briefly about how you can contribute content feeds to ShareLaw from the Law Help platform. So this is going to be specific to the folks here who are using Law Help, and the process for submitting a feed from DLaw or another state might be slightly different, but there's probably a little bit of overlap. So I'm going to toggle over to a slide deck here. So there are two options for sharing content into ShareLaw from a Law Help site. The first is that you can submit an RSS feed URL from any Law Help content page. So as Law Help admins know, content page is a sort of guided search that you can set up on your admin side to create a list of resources that are pulled from a specific topic, or maybe a couple subtopics, or authored by a particular organization, or meet other criteria you set when you're setting up that content page. And content pages have an RSS icon now at the top, and you can just grab that URL. It's shown here in the slide, and just fill out the form that Vince was talking about a moment ago on ShareLaw to submit that feed. So this is what I did this last night. It just took a few minutes, and then Vince approved it, in a few minutes this morning, and to add 2 content feeds from the National Law Help homepage. So that's one option, and something that any Law Help admin can do now if you have a set of resources that you want to contribute. And again, you can construct your content page such that it's pulling all content by a particular author organization that you know is interested in submitting their resources to ShareLaw, or a particular subtopic that may be nationally relevant, or language, category, or tag. And some examples of this might be, all of the bankruptcy resources from Georgia Legal Aid, the statewide Law Help site in Georgia, or all resources on Georgia Legal Aid authored by Kirstin's program, the Atlanta Legal Aid Society. And then the second option is to use the Law Help API to submit a feed to ShareLaw. And the biggest difference gets at what Vince was referring to earlier when he was talking about authentication. So option 1, using the RSS feed from a content page, will produce a feed that's accessible from a public page, a public URL. And many Law Help admins are using content pages on their Law Help sites, or creating content pages for special audiences. And having those feeds and having those URLs public is fine and may be desirable. But if there's a particular feed that you don't want accessible to the public, then you'll want to go with option 2, because that will produce an authenticated feed that is only for use within the ShareLaw environment for people who are logged in, and Vince and Kim have approved to have access to those resources. So that's the biggest difference between option 1 and option 2. So to get started, if you wanted to go with option 1, you can create and submit the feeds from your content pages at any point. If you want to go the API route, send an email to support@lawhelp.org, and we can work with you to get that set up. That's the method we're using right now to share in Atlanta Legal Aid Society's resources into ShareLaw, and we'll begin support for other Law Help states in November. And we'll also do a refresher on this, and I think Vince and Kim will join the Law Help Coordinators call in December to talk about this a bit more then. So any questions?
I actually have a question, Liz.
Yep.
This is Vince.
Sure. Yep.
The way it works on the sites we've been working with, which is mainly Drupal-based, we tag content. We just use a free tag system, and so whatever is associated with that particular tag, you can share. So you only have to submit the feed once, and then as you go along, if you add a tag to that content, right now we're just using like a ShareLaw tag, then the additional content you make can go ahead and go in, so you don't have to submit a feed more than once. Is the RSS feed that you're submitting, is it tag-based like that, and will future content pull in from that?
Yeah, it definitely could be tag-based. So an admin could create a tag that is a ShareLaw tag and tag content they want to submit to ShareLaw with that. And then as new content is added and tagged, the feed would update dynamically. So that's definitely one option. If they wanted to specifically specify what to share in to ShareLaw based on a tag, maybe rather than, content that's authored or in addition to content that's authored by a particular organization or under a particular subtopic.
Great.
So
Yeah. I'm sorry. I just wanted to make sure that was clear because it looks like a big deal to submit the feed and everything, and it's not huge. It's a couple of minutes, but after that, if we do kind of use a tag base or some other association, then it's we don't want to make more work for the content providers. That's not the purpose here. So it's just a matter of associating that piece of content later on down the road. Thank you, Liz. Sorry to interrupt.
Kirstin, I actually have a question too. So, for example, if I want to share all the content I've created on a mini portal, I create content pages and I tag just for the content pages some of the content, and so I'm not tagging it or categorizing it by topic and subtopic. So if I share that on ShareLaw, how is the NSMI categorization going to happen, or does it happen?
For a content page.
Yeah. So if I have a content page and the only tag on it is ShareLaw and mini portal page number 2, kind of nonsensical tags.
I'm not sure. I'd have to check into that. That's carried through in the API route, but I'm not sure with the content page. So that's part of what I think we want to test for over the next month or so.
That sounds great. Okay.
I can speak to that just on the ShareLaw end. It'll still be consumed, and whether it's placed within that categorical structure of the drilling down to the library, that's questionable if it doesn't have some NSMI association. But it'll still be consumed and findable in the search for at least just through what content it is.
Got it. Okay.
That's just on the ShareLaw end, so
right.
I don't know about API right now.
Great.
Okay. So, Kirstin, should I pass this to you for ShareLawVideo?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay. Hang on.
I have a little PowerPoint. Let me know when you guys can see it. Anybody seeing my slide yet?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. Oh, I have to accept. I'm sorry, folks. I'm a newbie. I'm a join me newbie.
Okay, we got it now.
There we go. Okay, so I'm going to talk for a minute about ShareLawVideo. We are the sister site of ShareLaw. We kind of Vince came up with his idea a little bit before I came up with mine, and we realized very early on that they were very related to each other. We went about the idea of, or the mechanism of sharing a little bit differently, but the idea behind ShareLawVideo is very similar to Vince's idea. I'm a content developer, I'm a statewide website coordinator, and I wanted content for my website. We got a TIG grant to develop the content, but I realized that in the process of applying for the grant that I had no idea how to make video content, and that the legal services community had experts in creating video content, and they were not me, but I really wanted to pick their brain, and then I realized that everybody else probably wanted to pick their brain too, and the idea was to kind of centralize the expert knowledge in our community, and also these experts were really willing to share their footage and to share their work product to make it easier for me to create my video projects, and I thought that was amazing. But the logistics, 5 years ago or 4 years ago when I started my video project, the logistics of sharing video content were somewhat complicated because they are very file size intensive. If you want, what you need is a high quality, not the YouTube quality video content, and sometimes you need the raw footage if you're going to take an English speaking video and you're going to convert it to Spanish, and even if you use the exact same content, it's going to take a little bit longer, and you're going to maybe need the raw footage from that video, not just the finished product. So, so we created ShareLaWVideo so that we could consolidate the expert knowledge of our community and also consolidate and make it easy for our experts in the community to share their video work product with us. So the way it works is when you join ShareLaWVideo, and it's ShareLaWVideo.org, and I have the URL, which I think is great, second to Vince's. It provides free training material. There's a training library, and Susan Muirhead, who is Illinois Legal Aid Online's videographer for so many years, developed the majority of the content for us. She's a Mac user, and she developed Mac-related and training materials. Cynthia Vaughn, who was with Olaf for years and did their video projects, put together materials on how to manage a video project if you're not the videographer, which is invaluable. And then Jeff Hogue in New York, who is our PC user, gave us materials on how to use Windows Movie Maker. So we've got, and then lots of links that I've collected over the years I put in the training library. So we have the training library. Those are free materials for you to use and consume and download at will. And then we have multimedia content, and the multimedia content is designed for statewide website contributors and legal services organizations. So private industry doesn't get access to this sort of thing. And the way it works is legal services organizations who have the content, and if you just have one video that you're proud of and you think other people might be able to use it, you can upload your content. So the only terms and conditions are that you have to have the rights to the content, you have to have releases from the actors, and you have to own it, or have gotten a release from the person that owns it to donate the content. And then the donor gives the ShareLaWVideo members permission to use the donated content, and in exchange the receiving organization provides credit to the donating organization in their finished project. And so it's just a screen at the end that says special thanks to Northwest Justice Project for contributing content to this video. It's super easy and not complicated. And so in our current video library, what we were able to do in our first go at creating a library is we have content from Illinois Legal Assistance Foundation. They have, and I spelled Illinois wrong in this PowerPoint, I'm sorry. They did, I think, 51 legal minutes, and they have video content with really great footage that can be used for voiceover videos from Ohio. Then we have Illinois, spelled incorrectly. We have all their wonderful footage that they donated, and the Northwest Justice Project has all of Daniel's very creative and wonderful content for their videos that they've been working on, and he also was wonderful enough to donate the slides and the art cells that he used to create those videos. So if you want to tweak the content of their work, you can download the PowerPoints and kind of modify it and then do your own voiceover. And you have ours, which is, you have all of our first video project footage, and then we have Connecticut Law Help, CT Law Help donated their footage, and they have a lot of great original raw footage that can be spliced and diced into new videos as well. And then all of the videos contributed their audio and PowerPoints. And Atlanta Legal Aid donated all of our, we have a volunteer photographer who takes still images for our annual report, and all of those have been uploaded. So we have a plethora of content. We have, I think, over 350 pieces of content on site. And just like ShareLaw, ShareLaw.org, you can search by NSMI code. You can search by content type, so you can click finished videos, video clips, art, audio, and you can search by keyword. So when somebody uploads content, they code it by the NSMI code, and then they also have the opportunity to free tag it. So keyword searching for judge or gavel or woman walking are examples of things that might come up with a search. And I will tell you briefly, lessons learned, these files are huge sometimes, and you really don't want to download or upload during intake hours. People will come screaming because you'll crash your servers. And I think what I'm going to do is skip the enhancements right now, and I'm going to go and show you what the site looks like live. So hang on just a second. So here's the website. You do just like ShareLaw, you have to join. And if you don't hear back from me, if you don't get approved to join within a few days, please send me an email. My email is going to be going to show my email in the PowerPoint slide in just a few minutes. We get a lot of spammers trying to come in, and occasionally I get a little overzealous with the delete button, deleting spammers who are trying to join the site. So if you don't hear back and you've asked to join, please contact me directly. So once you join, you can browse the library, upload content, or go to the training section. So I'm going to just go to the training section first because it's very self-explanatory. So we just have an outline. You can click the topic that you're interested in and see what content we have in that topic. And if you see something you're interested in, Susan donated a sample camera report. Here's an equipment guide. Here's a purchasing tip. Basic editing on a Mac is from Susan. And we have from Jeff this one. And he made it a Google Doc so we can update it. So that's our training content. Just feel free to explore that. I'm going to go back to the home. We can take a look at the media library. So you have options for browsing audio clips, video clips, art assets, which are still images, and finished videos. I'll just click the art assets for just a minute. So we are using something called the Flow Player to get all of this to work. And it's being finicky. I should have clicked it. Should have checked my links before I showed you this. But let's see if I can find some that are live. So you can't see them, which is a problem. We'll have to fix that. Here's an image. We're obviously going to try to make it a little easier for you to see. It takes sometimes a bit to load from the main preview page, but so if you wanted to use this image, you would just click to agree to the terms, and then here would be your file, and you could just click to download it, and then you would have it. I'm going to scooch back to the main page, back to the media library. You can do the same thing with video clips. And I'll show you. Initially we built the site with a 1-minute preview, and it really just wasn't long enough. This is something that Vince uploaded just a little bit ago, just as an example. You can see, you can preview the video, and here's one that you can preview. The Montanas folks didn't work. You can preview. Here's a raw, some raw footage from our foreclosure video, and it's so you can listen to it for a little bit or scan through it to see if those are images you might be able to use in your video. And then if it is, you click the link, you get a bigger version of it, and if you want it, you just click to agree to the terms, and then you can download the movie. I'm not going to do that because that will bog everything up. So I still have people that would come screaming at me even though we're not doing intake. And then we have finished videos. Whoops. And now it's me logged in again. The finished videos work exactly the same way, and you can control how many you look at once, look at it, view it once. I don't recommend all. We really have a lot of content, and if you click all, it will really take a long time to load. So 6 or 12 or 24 are really quite reasonable in terms of as much as you can expect the internet connection to keep up with. And so we really have lots and lots of content. What is the format for the clips? So got a question from Lisa. So the goal of this project was to get to you or to users content that was as pure as possible, like as close to straight off the camcorder as possible. So we asked people to give us video content in its original format, whatever that might be. So if it came from Susan Muirhead, it's .mov. If it comes from Jeff Hogue, it's WMV. And you're going to have to convert that with third-party conversion if you don't have the ability to edit in both formats. Does that make sense?
And there are definitely some really good free conversion tools out there, like Miro Converter, which we have used to convert back and forth between multiple formats.
Yeah, because we have a Mac for our heavy editing video projects, but I use Windows Movie Maker for a lot of things. Like if I'm recording a training and I'm just going to do very light editing. Yes, Lisa, when you go to download it, it'll tell you whether it's WMV or not. So I use Windows Movie Maker for a lot of light things. You have to click to agree to the terms, and then see this one is .mov. Does that make sense? And Brian, if you'll send me the link to the video converters that you like, because I only sporadically like the video converters. If you have some that you think are reliable, please send them to me, and I'll add them to the training library. And we can also send them around. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, and so then I'm briefly going to go show you how to upload content. And what I'd love to do is to encourage you all to upload your content. If you have ever done a video and you think other people might be able to use it, even if it is very state-specific, as long as it's not a talking head talking about state-specific things, other programs can use it. So if you have done a video with original footage or original stills, and even if it's state-specific, if you're talking about divorce or protective orders in your state, somebody can take the images from that video and make it into a video for their jurisdiction. And what I will tell you is that in my experience doing our video project, we did 2 original videos with original content and volunteer actors, and it took just a gigantic amount of time and resources to film it, arrange it, do the script, and edit it. And I was lucky enough to have a volunteer videographer helping me do that. But what I was able to do with a brief tutorial from this volunteer videographer on how to do editing on Mac, I was able to take content from Illinois Legal Aid Online's raw footage and turn that into 4 or 5 videos. And it took me by myself a day or 2 to do that versus weeks to create the original content for the other videos. So it really is a massive time savings if you want to have video content for your website and you don't have a TIG grant, or even if you do and you want to create lots of videos, using someone else's raw footage is an excellent way to accomplish that quickly and affordably. So
Great.
I'm going to do, was that Brian?
Oh, one of the other really nice things is just having access to those scripts. because the script writing process can be longer than one would think, and having somebody else's script to start with and being able to take it to a subject matter expert and say, what do we need to change to make this work in Oregon, helps save a lot of time.
And amen to needing sample scripts. And the other thing that I learned from my video project is that I put together scripts and got approved scripts that I thought would be 4 minutes long, and they're 12-minute videos. So you definitely want, the tried and true. You can take a look at my scripts from my videos, my ginormously long, too long videos that I made, from my first video project, and you can say, well, of course, that's way too long. We need to cut this by a third to make it consumable by a self-helper. So I'm going to just go through the process of setting up a title and giving a slight description, and I'm going to upload a little clip that I have from Montana. I'm going to choose a category. This is a video clip, and I'm not going to find a zombie and SMI, but I'll make it an attorney. And then we're using the same kind of coding system, pro bono attorneys. And then you hit add, and then you've coded it. And keyword zombie. And then you hit upload, just file upload, and then go to my desktop and see if I can find the video clip that I saved. You can see all my bad desktop practices, just cluttering up my desktop. Here we go. And I'm going to try to upload this and hope that our IT manager doesn't come screaming. So I've uploaded one. You can only upload one video at a time right now, which is, if you've got lots of little clips to share, that might be time-consuming. If you have lots to share and it's too time-consuming to do one at a time, let me know, and I can send you a hard drive, or we can come up with another way to upload things. So there is a spot for an actor release form, and if you have them and want to share them, and your actor release forms do not contain private or personal information like an address or a phone number of the actor signing the release, then please go ahead and upload them. We did originally have some shares. Where do you upload scripts? I'll show that in just a second. I'm gonna finish the upload, and then you just hit save. And so in the media library, the place for uploading scripts would be in Browse Forms. And so that's, if you're categorizing, you're going to upload it as a form. So when you upload, it gives you the option to choose the type of content, and you would select form. Does that make sense? Well, it's going to let me go. Forms. So that's where it'll go. And I could actually maybe change that to make it a little more obvious what it should be. So so that is ShareLaw and let me go back to my PowerPoint slide to talk about some of the enhancements that we're going to do. Just yes, you can upload a Word file. You can, if there's a file extension that you've tried to upload and you can't upload it, let me know and we will add it as one of the potential files. Really, you should be able to upload just about anything. We have added just every conceivable type of file that might be relevant and want you to be able to upload anything you need to upload. So we do have ShareLaw Our original grant for ShareLaw is closing up in early part of next year. And we are also going to continue it. We have a continuing TIG grant to continue the project. And one of the things that we are doing, we did this right away, is originally the previews were 1 minute, and now they are 5 minutes, and we're looking into ways to make it so that you can just watch the whole thing from the thumbnail. We are adding feedback surveys. So if you download some content, you'll get an email with a link to a survey in a few months asking you if you found the content helpful and did you use it. And LSC is particularly interested in whether it saved you money in developing your content. So we'll be sending feedback surveys. That's coming soon. We're also developing a system where you can, when you join or you can edit your account with ShareLaWVideo, to get notice when we add new content or when somebody adds new content. You can set it to once a week or once a month or every single time new content is added, you get notified. So that way, as we keep adding content, you don't have to go look for it. You'll get a notice that something new was added. And, of course, we're adding more content. We're recruiting more organizations who have robust libraries to donate their content. And so this is my contact information. Please feel free to reach out and contact me with questions or suggestions for improvements or concerns, anything you have. I'm open to talking about it, and please do share on ShareLaWVideo as well as share on ShareLaw. So that's what I have. Does anybody have any more that they want to
So one additional just resource for people who are interested in doing video, I strongly recommend if you've got questions about anything video related, LSNTAP is willing to help find answers to those things. The LS Tech listserv it has a pretty good amount of people who do have some experience with video, ranging from kind of the text to speech, different tools that are out there, to screencasting with slides, to live action. So we're very willing to help people out in that capacity, both on our listserv, and if we don't know it, we'll find somebody who can blog about it and do a best practices on it.
Great. You all, yes, we're interested in audio PowerPoints. Those are awesome. Those are awesome. Send them, Lisa.
Yeah, PowerPoints with audio over them is just a really nice way to do low-cost video.
And so if you were to share that, if you were to share that on ShareLaWVideo, please upload the finished product so somebody can watch it and grab it if it's useful for them in its entirety, but then also share the PowerPoint and the audio separately. Does that make sense? So I interrupted you, Brian. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. I was done. That's great.
Okay. So great. Well, thanks, everybody. If we don't have any additional questions, I guess we can finish out the webinar.
Yep. Also, just a reminder to people, we do have a webinar coming up next week, which is going to include file storage and backup technology specifically. So if you're dealing with large files like this, there'll be some tech advice coming next week in our webinar hosted by Idealware. Thanks everybody for showing up, and hopefully we'll have this video online soon also on our YouTube channel so that people can review it.
Thank you, Brian.
Thanks, everybody.
Liz, Kirstin.
Thanks. Take care.